We all know the legendary characters of Star Wars, whether it be the reckless but lovable hero Luke Skywalker, the awesome smuggler with endless luck, save for the sequel movies, Han Solo, or the strategic minded and overall courageous character of Leia. What about characters outside of the movies, though? If you are curious about these characters, then I recommend Thrawn by Timothy Zahn. Thrawn was merely a character lost to the winds when Disney changed the old canon. But thanks to the series Star Wars Rebels by Dave Filoni, he has returned to the eyes of fans. So, it was no surprise that Disney decided to cash in with a new origin for the character for people to read. But is it good? Meh. Or trash like Star Wars The Last Jedi and Forces of Destiny? Well, let's just get this. When I first bought the book, I was under the impression that it would be solely from Thrawn's perspective. But I was wrong to a certain extent, because of course, this is Star Wars. We get different points of view that lead up to the conglomerate whole that is the book Thrawn. We start out with a stormtrooper by the name of Eli Vanto. Eli is basically the Watson of Thrawn, the man that tags along and learns the techniques of the main character. He is entertaining with his own needs and desires that do not always line up with the main characters, without spoiling too much. Like Watson, you can't help but sympathize with him and understand where he is coming from. You can clearly see when he has progressed in every way that does not feel rushed. I gotta say, though unexpected at first, he became my second favorite character in the whole book. Now let's talk about a character that is, ironically, absolutely necessary for this review, Arinda Price. To be blunt, when I started, I hated her. There was no reason for her to be in the book at the beginning. It was like the author just said, "She in the show? Yeah? Let's throw her in." It was jarring to get her with no explanation other than she existed at the same time. Thanks, author. As she went on, though, you got to see who she was. Her faults, which are many by the way, and bright spots that are interestingly complex yet show her basic desires at the same time. One of the faults is metaphorically shown through the sunset in a way that reminds me of the original trilogy, only this time in the presence of someone who felt imprisoned that really wasn't. To be honest, you won't be interested in her at all in the beginning, but trust me, she grows on you as the story moves on. Now let's get to my favorite viewpoint in the whole book, Thrawn's. Put simply, Thrawn is basically the Sherlock of Star Wars, but with a twist. You get to see what he sees, like facial features and body language and italicized format, without giving up his conclusions about the people. His dialogue is direct yet intelligent, showing a lack of proper speaking skills because he does not know the language. The problems that he encounters are always intriguing, especially when it comes to his solutions to the problems. I can't elaborate on that too much though, because that would become too much of a spoiler. If I were to sum all of this up, as long as you don't mind a slow intro and random characters tossed in, it's a good book that I definitely recommend. It's clear that Timothy Zahn put a lot of care into this book, and in turn, essentially created Sherlock Holmes in Star Wars. I rate this book 9 stars out of 10. It only gets lowered a star because, as I said, those random characters. It really jars with the narrative, but other than that, it will have been perfect. So, yeah, that's all I gotta say without spoiling anything too big. You can get this book on iTunes for around $10, and yeah, I definitely recommend it. If you liked the video, press the like or subscribe button for more content like this. For now, this is Bearded Marksman, signing off.